All right. We are live. What's going on, everybody? It's Rob Garcia, the Warrior Strategist. Sorry about earlier. Had some technical difficulties. You know how it goes when you work in media. I want to talk about media strategies and how to make your media pitch irresistible to reporters. Many people don't understand that there are elements for a media pitch and a story that either make it really appealing or instant no. And so I'll share some of the tips that I've used in order to get 39 clients on TV. And they aren't super hard. Anybody can take this info and use it to augment and enhance the power of your story, whatever it is. If you're trying to get interviewed on TV or radio or podcast or whatever, these are some of my tips to help you be more appealing to the media. All right, so there are a couple of elements regardless of what your story is. And I've helped people, what I do is I build their breakout story brand, their breakout business story. Jillian and I were talking about this yesterday. Specifically, what makes a story appealing and what are the elements that will take somebody and get them to the next level to where people will want to interview them. So right out the gate, you have to understand that your audience has to match the story. Okay, so if it's a family-friendly story, something about the community, something about consumer protection, then the news is the way to go because it's usually families that are watching the news, and reporters really dig stories that are about consumer protection or popular scams going around, things like that. I remember I worked with IFBB Pro, Sandra Blackie, and she had been the victim of a fake warrant scam that involved Bitcoin. And we reached out to Fox News. I wrote an angle on it. It falls under elder fraud because crimes perpetuated against people of an age automatically get bumped up to a higher criminal count in courts. And so it was a very interesting story. Sandra went on TV. She was awesome. And her story was very well done. Thank you, Liberty Zapala, for covering that. But the point is I matched up the audience. I matched up the story, the angle, why it would appeal to people. And then I wrote a pitch that helped the reporter instantly say, yes, this is a great story. Let's do this. It's topical. It's current. But understand that you can't, there are a million stories out there, but most of them are pitched poorly. And so what you need to do, you need to make sure that you understand which audience would enjoy it more: young people, old people, veterans, Hispanics, women. Think about and reverse engineer like the nuances of the story and who would watch it and who would be interested in it. And that's who you send it to when you're making your list of media outlets that would potentially pick up this story and run with it. So always match the audience to the story. Make sure that your pitch isn't rambling. It's right to the point. You don't need to list every single detail of it. You're not writing a book. You're writing a basic summative pitch that is formatted correctly. Always remember your pitch needs a couple of things. It needs a photo. It needs a link. It needs any past coverage that it's gotten. It needs a headline that gives a preview summary in the headline itself. Probably should start with the word story idea. And then a basic couple of sentences. That's it. And then this story would appeal to blah, blah, blah. Insert audience. And that's how you do a media pitch. It's okay to take a story and repurpose it. That means if something has changed in the initial story, a detail has changed, something evolved, something's different, it's okay to reach out to reporters and send the updated pitch and say, since this story broke, this has occurred. This has happened. People like updates. People like follow-ups, if it's tangible, if it's relevant. So always remember that. You can go back and recycle a story. If your story doesn't get picked up round one, wait a few weeks and resend it out. There's always options. You can send it to different cities. There are times when I've sent out stories to a lot of different stations. Nobody's picked it up. I try an unusual area or a different state, and they've gone for it. Because I'll tell you this, and this is what you have to remember. A lot of people talk themselves out of pitching media because they think nobody'd be interested in my story or nobody'd like this or whatever. Media has to come up with stories every single day. Every day. And so if you don't pitch your story, you know what they're going to run? This is one of my favorite anecdotes. The water skiing squirrel. We've all seen him. We all love him. You will see a water skiing squirrel if you don't pitch your news story. If it's a slow news day, just pitch the freaking story. Get it out there. Let them see it. Otherwise, you're going to lose your news story to a water skiing squirrel. Let that sink in. Nothing against the squirrel community. I'm not squirrelist. I believe in the power of that story, but I'm here for my clients. All right. Media angles. There are probably 7 of them that I've developed over time that seem to work out really well for my clients, considering I've gotten 39 people on TV. Your pitch, your angle should fall under one of the big categories. And consumer protection is a great one. I mentioned earlier with Sandra Blackie, a good consumer protection story. But there's also like life events. There is an achievement, unusual, current events, a live demo. If you're planning on going in studio and visiting the station, and you can do something like dance or cook or martial arts, or you have dogs, something cool that looks cool on camera, that's a live demo. News stations love that. Think about how many times you've seen somebody cooking something, or bringing out really cool looking dogs, or a little fashion show, something like that. Live demo is a very good news angle. But whenever I work with a client and we're trying to get them prepped for TV, we figure out, okay, what angle does this fall under? What type of story will this be? And that helps us for the next steps. That's going to be the pitch. All right. Well, hope this gives you some ideas about getting on TV or getting your story out there. Remember that all of you are important. Your stories are important. The only difference between somebody that gets on TV and someone that doesn't is that the first person had the courage to put themselves out there. They believed in their story enough to get a pitch going, or they hired me and I made the magic happen for them. But your stories are all very important. I love what I do. I love getting people the coverage they deserve. If you ever need help with your media stuff for your business, or you have a story you want to get out there and you have no idea where to start, let's talk. You guys know I specialize in PR. I specialize in business breakthrough stories, taking the story, making it amazing, writing it up, capturing it in a press release, getting it out there and contacting journalists, reporters. I do it all completely for you. You can check out my updated site at GarciaGlobalMedia.com, or you can message me on Facebook or LinkedIn, wherever you're seeing this. And we can sit down. We can have a free advisory call. We can talk about how to get your story out there. I've gotten clients that have been viral. I've gotten clients in magazines multiple times. If you're in a specific industry, you're probably a little easier to place than others because there's specific media for your industry. But I love what I do. I love helping people. So until next time, stay famous. This is Rob Garcia, the Warrior Strategist, and I will see you soon.